Alright guys, Touch back again today. I hope you're all doing well and enjoying your day so far. Some very interesting accusations being leveled at pro players these last couple of weeks. A lot of talk about the coaches and their precise role on some of these CDL rosters. If the coach is not so active in their situations in terms of managing the team, players will very willingly throw each other under the bus to keep their spot on the roster. Very much intrigued to your thoughts in the comment section below. Like if you guys enjoy the video, subscribe if you are new as always. I would greatly appreciate it. If you're new to the channel, thank you very much indeed for doing that. First of all, this from the New York Subliners. Thought this is funny. This might be the scariest Halloween movie yet. It's Crimsix, baby. It's Slim Six back in the building. We know Slim Six has been, hit in the gym. Crimsix has been in the gym, getting, dropping some weight, I imagine. Great to see. Maybe that's going to make him an even more solid player here on the Subliners coming into next year. This also then from Hitch a Ride, the final off-season tourney. Black Ops 2 coming up relatively soon on the 30th of October. This is going to be an absolute banger. Seems like Arstes and Envoy, they're going to be teaming up once again. We kind of saw that the intention was to kind of reform that old Chicago Huntsman team, but I'm pretty sure Formal couldn't make it to the Modern Warfare 2019 throwback, so therefore Draza stepped in. But it was Scump, Arstes, Envoy and Draza for that tourney. And Envoy and Arstes apparently are going to be a team of two for this one. Exciting stuff. $15,000 on the line, 8 teams. Just great to see Black Ops 2 played once again at a very high level. Who will they be up against, right? Who will they play with? I think Envoy even said that he was playing some Warzone tournament with Draza as well, so definitely, obviously makes sense. Right, Envoy and Draza are both on Los Angeles Thieves, but exciting stuff to keep your eyes on, no doubts going forwards. This also I thought I'd point out just for the flag. I thought it was entertaining, right? Because this is some fantastic Crimsix content from back in the day. I remember his YouTube channel when I first got into the scene a few years ago. It was just like one of the most entertaining things ever. When he was on the Optic team, and even before then, to be honest, some of the videos he made in 2013, 2014, 2015, the intros he would have, attaches just chilling right here. And just some of the content, well, there's theory in the background. There's really some legendary players and images in this right here. And Jacob actually is someone we're going to talk about here in just a second, because a fair bit of discussion really the last couple of weeks about some of these pro players and how they act behind the scenes when things maybe aren't going so well for their team. Let's say their roster needs to, this is nameless. Let's say their roster needs to make some sort of a change. How do they act to their coaches? How do they act to their teammates in terms of making that change happen? Or maybe the team doesn't need a change, but still they feel like something might be off with the roster. Damn, Parasite is looking absolutely well. He used to wear this hat all the time, or not just a hat like this. He always used to have the backwards cap on. Just phenomenal work, really. And Crimsix having a good time right here. Where you got Burns. Damn, serious OG stuff in this video. But how are these players going to respond? Let's say that, the coach comes up to them and says, look, what do you think about our team? What do you think we should do? What's the current situation we find ourselves in? And what are they going to say to the rest of the team? Are they going to throw their teammates under the bus? Seems like a very likely possibility, to be honest, and it has certainly happened in the past as well. I'll show you one, kind of vivid example really that sticks in the memory from E United back in the 2019 Black Ops 4 season, when Clayster and JCap were not exactly the best of friends, but in other situations as well. The question that does raise, that if you've got big personalities on the team, that's the Looney, that are likely to do something like this, then you need a coach maybe that's going to be very active in terms of taking up those opportunities to actually make things right within the roster. If the coach is going to be passive and listen to what the pros say, they could get bowled over by some of the big personalities on the team. That is one of the fears. Well, this is Jared on the TSM days back in this is one of the fears really that New York Subliners roster has with Crimsix and Clayster there. Is Revan going to be is he going to be that guy with a big enough personality to actually step in and tell these guys what's wrong in certain situations? We got Zuma here in the background. Pretty sure he drops the middle finger salute, let's just call it that, on the screen. So yeah, just phenomenal work, to be honest, from Crim and the boys. But this is Ace as well. So yeah, just good times. But of course, with this new roster, we know that Clayster and Crimsix, they've got big personalities, right? They could be a handful to deal with, right, from a coach. If, obviously, I imagine they're going to respect their coach. But how much power does the coach really have if these guys are butting heads and, trying to make some sort of decision on what roster change may be necessary, if a roster change is necessary at any point in the future? Not, of course, just relevant to the Subliners, also to other organizations as well, especially because of what Ben J. Nassim is going to say here in a second, the fact that, yes, they got Revan in back again to the Subliners. Honestly, they could have got Looney, and apparently they were considering getting Looney, but he went over to the Minnesota Rocket to join their pretty big coaching team over there already. And is the passivity maybe of Revan going to cost this team when players are very likely to throw each other under the bus?
I mean, at the end of the day, New York went with the person they thought was right for the job. And that ended up being Bobble. But it sure was talked about.
I don't know if that's the right choice, though, but we can agree to disagree on that one.
I mean, yeah, they ended up picking whoever they thought was best for the team and the job, and that ended up being Bobble. Now, I know Dan... Huh? What?
No, my POV, can I explain why I think that's a bad decision? Because we were actually going to talk about on this show. I like Revan, but if the rumored team is...
I don't know, real quick, before you go, Ben, sorry to cut you off. But I don't know why people are spamming love liners and putting out. They were entertaining Dan. Where were the other 11 teams? We already had a great coach. Bob was a good coach. We already had. Where are some of these other teams that legit don't have coaches? Those are the teams I'm talking to. Forget New York. New York can do whatever they want. They had a good coach. What the are some of these other teams doing that don't have a coach? Why aren't they hitting up Dan? Why aren't they? I don't understand that. It's so weird to me, and maybe it just goes to show. I saw Nameless put it in the chat is that some of these pro teams maybe just aren't focusing that much on coaches. Like they just really don't care that much about the coaching staff, which is ridiculous.
I think the coaching staff makes and breaks a lot of teams.
What the is that? A good coach is going to tell you in that front office exactly what's going on and exactly what the problem is. Here's the problem. When a team is not doing well in the league, you sit down and talk to the players. They all bullshit. And when you get them one by one, they all start throwing each other under the bus. You don't even know who you're even going with here. A Call of Duty team is only 4 guys, you know? So
that's my issue with
you need a middleman.
So first off, it sounds like New York never actually gave him a real offer. So here's my thing, right? If the rumored team's got Clay and Krim on it, like to me, you need that coach to really be a strong personality because there are times where those 2 players are going to disagree, but they're mature enough players that if you get a strong coach personality, the 3 of them will get in a room and they'll figure it out. And no hard feelings because that's the business. I like Revan, but he comes off as way more of a passive individual. And to me, yeah, they can probably maybe get away with it, but there's also a chance where some of those issues fester because you don't have a head coach to really cut those things off. So that's my only concern from the New York POV and why if I were in that shoe, I probably would want
Well, think
Dan
about New York too. New York,
the
office is not the only ones making the decision. You also talk to the team.
So of course it's not necessarily going to be the case with New York, and it might not be the case with any roster, but likely it will be because we've certainly seen in previous years that players definitely don't necessarily like each other too much, and things go down as a result. We saw during the Black Ops 4 season on United, JCap and Clayster had like a massive falling out. Really, as you can see, this is a tweet from 2 years, or a Reddit post from 2 years ago from Ladbot, when they're both not following each other at the time. Now, there was a lot of chaos really here going on because JCap I think was going behind the scenes and said maybe they needed to drop Brastini or something, and then I think they even maybe did drop Brastini, but then Clayster came in and said like, what are we doing? Like Brastini's got to be on this team. Of course, they end up winning the World Championship at the end of that year, and Clayster was like, yeah, there's no way you're dropping Brastini. If you're dropping Brastini, you're dropping me. Like, is JCap that's orchestrating this? Get rid of JCap, and then like they're the back and forth, and then Burns, I'm pretty sure, decided, okay, let's just get rid of JCap and bring in, of course, none other than Simp the Sick Joke, that ended up, of course, becoming the best player in the game and well, helping them to win the World Championship that year. But that was the thing, right? Really, like the JCap versus Clayster stuff, that was kind of describing the entire team, and I imagine the management at United were kind of talking to those guys behind the scenes. JCap was saying one thing, his story. Clayster was saying one thing, his story, and maybe the coach wasn't really there to say, okay, to decide what they were going to be doing. Players trying to throw each other under the bus. Ended up Clayster comes out on top of that one, but it was almost JCap who came out on top, and maybe you need a bit of a firm hand at times to keep a cap on this type of stuff. Of course, it kind of did work out for them in the end, right? But still an interesting discussion nonetheless. This I thought also from Charlie Intel. Which one of you got what was the best Call of Duty Get Jetpack game? To me, it's Black Ops 3. I can't look past it. Just for everything in that game, not just the multiplayer, but also like zombies was pretty good as well. But just like game battles, Search and Destroy scene on that title was just phenomenal. Like yes, maybe the specialists were kind of questionable, and the wall running was kind of questionable as well at the top tier, the pro level. But yeah, to me, Black Ops 3 was the most fun I had. Infinite Warfare, Advanced Warfare, also pretty good. I'm sure we're going to get back to jetpacks at some stage. Hopefully that's the case at least, but it might not be for a few years. I'm sure a lot of the pros will like to see them come back straight away. I think if jetpacks came back like next year, Formal even might make his return, right? I think he kind of missed this era, and understandably so. He was a phenomenal player on all of these titles, might have been some of his best. Los Angeles Guerrillas say this, fill in the blank until Vanguard drops. I am passing the time on ... I've been playing a lot of Black Ops 2, like Plutonium type stuff. I played a bit of Counter-Strike as well the other day, might do a bit of Valorant. There's a lot of games that are fun, of course, but Call of Duty always takes the cake. Hopefully Vanguard's going to be a good one, not too far away from this coming into the title as well. And of course, well, as Scump says, just to finish off here, playing Warzone, of course, that's what a lot of people have been passing their time on. Definitely a pretty entertaining discussion here. Well, you find this guy in a Warzone lobby, and honestly, I thought a pretty funny exchange between the two of them. And very much intrigued to your thoughts on all this stuff in the comment section below. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did enjoy it, I'd greatly appreciate a like on the video. Really upset that you reckon I know you enjoy this content. Other people like you may enjoy this content as well, and I've grown the competitive Call of Duty community. Thank you much as always. Take care, and I will see you next time.
So the first time I was playing with my buddies, the War Dogs, and it was 1v1 to end the game, and I had never seen a finishing move with the birds before.
Hostile dropping into the area. Watch
And
the
this
skies.
guy goes finishing move on me.
You're done
There's
warming up.
birds
Stand by
all
for
over
deployment
me,
to the
and
war
I'm
zone.
trying to smash my buttons to hit the birds off. Because
I don't think you
thought it
can.
was- yeah, I didn't know it was a finishing move. I thought that it was just like I had run into a bird patch or something.
What is this guy talking about?
You know, I shut her down for a few weeks after that.
Nice.
On oil. I help.
Oh, I'm in mid water. Nice.
Oh! The 1v5? Is that 1v5 or what? Y'all like that? Yo, that's 2020 Clutch Player of the Year right there. 2020 S&D Player of the Year as well, might I add.